okay, it's not really a question per se, but like I just want to know hear your opinion. Like, so I have a gay friend, right? And like, he told me he used to go to a lot of gay clubs, like the ones in Tanjong Pagar supposedly lah, right? And like he said that what he experienced there, right, is quite extraordinary. Yeah, the way at least the gays in the club interact and like the doesn't matter what the kinky things they do lah, right? And they seem very, as in to the normal person, right, or in society to be unnatural or even like perverse lah. And that's what he told me, not my words, right? So the question I ask you all is, do you think that by removing the whole stigma, right, of whether 3778 or the whole idea of the social stigma that is behind all this, do you think that it would change the way that gays interact with each other?
Huh? Does it change the way they interact with each other?
Yeah. So as in, do you think they will still
encourage more of this, right? Or maybe
no, as in, would they like, because it seems the way they conduct, okay, I don't know if it's true, the way they conduct their sexual acts is different from the way that heterosexuals conduct their sexual acts.
I would say that is overgeneralization. Do you have evidence to back you up? Because there are kinky and weird gays, just like there are kinky and weird heterosexuals. There are a lot of people heterosexual that are also doing this kind of things.
For sure.
Yeah.
But it seems, as in from what I hear from him, right, is there's a disproportionate number of these things.
Yeah, which I would say that may not be conclusive evidence because it's an anecdotal story from a friend.
In my personal opinion, I feel like men are more liberal with their sexuality. So, in the case of maybe when I go to work, I see like a lot of guys, and the guys who aggressively, they'll go after girls and all, but the girls won't reciprocate in a sense. But when the dynamics are such that it's maybe men to men, then they're like, hey, we're both men, like, and we're both gay, we're both single, let's go. Like that kind of thing, it's more like, for me, it's more of a biological thing. I don't know how I would argue it in terms of biology, but I feel like men are more liberal, this kind of thing. So the fact that they're both guys can be a difference between male and female interaction, straight people. Yeah.
And actually, what's wrong with it anyway? As long as they keep it within themselves and they harm no one else in the process, as long as it is consensual, that they're both adults and no one is getting harmed in the process, then just let them do it and let live and let's not judge them. No matter they're gays doing this or they're heterosexuals doing this.
The concern with the stand that your group has put forward may give rise to a certain fear which the conservatives feel that it is a ticket to greater promiscuity, and in that sense. So in the first place, some conservatives do not even agree that homosexuality is natural to begin with. And this could tie in very much with their religion and what they've taught. The main religion that's practiced in Singapore have actually mentioned that it to be a sin. So, in view of these kind of prevailing societal thinking, how do you suggest we should respond?
Do I still have time left?
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe Zachariah?
Oh, sure.
I mean, in every society, there are bound to be religious conservatives who will never agree to this. So we're not proposing to give a lot of rights to them. It's just for their basic rights, their right to love each other freely and not to be oppressed by this law. So in our presentation, we didn't force acceptance. We highlighted hopefully to accept, because tolerance and respect is the basic. It's the basic you can give to another human being. Accepting is more like it's in an ideal situation, everyone will be able to accept, but we understand that there are some who will never accept it. So we try to mitigate it by tolerance and respect.
Sorry, Mr. Could you repeat your point about the religion part? I
Yeah, I'm just concerned that because there are all these conservatives out there, and that seems to be the prevailing thought, right? So for all of us here, I'm not sure how many of us, okay, this is absolutely has got nothing to do with how convincing you are, all right? How many of us buy this idea? Would you like to sort of put out your hands? Okay, maybe you stop the time, yeah? All right, put out your hands. How many of us in this class agree with what is presented
The call
in
to
the
action.
system? Not call to action, but the premise. They talk about some of the myths that they actually demystify. Like for example, homosexuality is natural or unnatural. Just have a few, okay, all right. I mean, the thing is that just off the record, you have presented a very persuasive framework of deductive reasoning. All right, okay. By that token, I'm very glad that you presented it. But I just want to have a feel of what the class feels in terms of what they feel. Do you feel that at the end of the day, do you agree that it is a myth?
Do I still video?
Okay. Yeah,
We
come on.
them or we don't?
Just stop them. Yeah. This I think is a very good, interesting discussion. What do you think?
I agree with it. It's a pure